All right, today we are working on multiplying whole numbers and mixed numbers. And so we are going to start out with some steps for that. All right, so we're going to start out with one strategy. This is the first strategy. And there are 4 steps in the first strategy. So let's start with step 1. Step 1 is to multiply the whole number times the whole number part of the mixed number. So multiply the whole numbers. All right, so if you have, I think the example was given 6 times 3 and 1/5. At this point, you would just move your 1/5 off to the side, because we will have to deal with that later. But 6 times 3 equals 18. So this is step 1. Remember that because this is a video, you can pause this at any time so that you can write down notes. Step 2 of this strategy is to multiply the whole number times the fraction of the mixed number. So multiply your whole number and that's your original whole number by the fraction. So basically what we're doing is we're breaking apart 3 and 1/5. We're going to multiply 6 times 3, and now we're going to multiply 6 times 1/5. This is the distributive property of multiplication, okay? We are distributing this 6 with the 3 and with the 1/5. So 6 times 1/5 is the same as 6 over 1 times 1/5, which is the same as 6/5. So now we've dealt with this down here. We've done 6 times 3. We've done 6 times 1/5. I wonder what's going to come next. Now we're going to write the product, this 6/5 right here, as a mixed number if we need to. So here, write the improper fraction from the product as a mixed number. Okay, normally what we would do is we would divide the numerator by the denominator. You can do it that way, or you can realize, oh, 6/5 minus 1 whole, which is 5/5, leaves me with 1/5. So I would have 1 whole and 1/5. Again, you can do the division. You're still going to end up with 1 and 1/5. So again, we've moved from here down to here, but we can't forget this little bubble right here. So I just want you to be aware, like that's still there. It's still a thing that we're using. All right, so step 4 is to add the mixed number to the whole number. Add the mixed number to the whole number. This is where we now add 18 plus 1 and 1/5, which gives us 19 and 1/5. So when we multiply 6 times 3 and 1/5, our answer is 19 and 1/5. Okay, we walked through that kind of fast, and I know that. So we're going to actually go through this process at least one more time so that you guys can see it in action. So we'll do one that's not in your curriculum so that you can kind of get an idea, because you can go back and look at the one that's in Buzz if you need to. Let's do 7 times 4 and 6/7. 7 times 4 and 6/7. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mixed number and I'm going to break it apart. And I know I'm going to do 7 times 4 and 7 times 6/7. The reason I'm showing it to you this way is so that you can see that this 7 is distributed to every term. I completely spelled that wrong. Let me try that again. I can't write and talk at the same time. Distributive. All right, so we have made sure that the 7 has shaken hands with the 4 and the 7 has shaken hands with the 6/7. We have to make sure in a multiplication problem like this that we make sure that every term is taken care of. So 7 times 4 is 28. That was step 1. Step 2 is we place the 7 over 1 and we times 6/7. 7 times 6 is 42. And we have 42/7. So the really cool thing about that, we know that 7 times 6 is 42. So if we divide 42 by 7, which is step 3, we make that a mixed number. 42 divided by 7 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. We won't have any part of a fraction left. And step 4 is to now add 28 plus 6, which equals 34. So the product of 7 times 4 and 6/7 equals 34. All right. So now we're going to work on the next strategy or the next method. So this is strategy 2. And we're still going to work with 6 and times 3 and 1/5. Okay, we're still working with 6 times 3 and 1/5. So, step 1. Step 1 is to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. The way that we do that is we are going to multiply your whole number times your denominator and add your numerator all over your original denominator. For 3 and 1/5, it's going to be 3 times 5. This is our whole number, our denominator. Now we have to add our numerator, which is 1, and we're going to put that over 5. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. This becomes 16/5. That's step 1. So we've taken care of this and changed it into 16/5. Hopefully you see that and you're able to make that connection. Step 2 is to add the answer to the numerator of the fraction. Oh, we've already done that. Multiply the improper fraction by the whole number. So we're going to multiply. Step 2 is to multiply the whole number by the improper fraction. Okay, our whole number was 6, and our improper fraction is 16/5. The reason that I'm leaving it like this is because remember, to change our whole number into a fraction, we just place it over 1, and we're going to multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So we know that our denominator is going to remain 5, and then we have to do 16 times 6. I like to do mine vertically, and so 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So I put 96/5. Now, I'm not completely finished with this because now I have to take my improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number and simplify it. So step 3, and I think in your curriculum, I think it lists it as more steps because they actually break down this part, the part where we did the changing to an improper fraction. They broke that down into a separate step. It's all one step to me. So we changed the mixed number into an improper fraction. We multiply the whole number by the improper fraction, and now we have to convert and simplify. So when I say convert, what I mean is we are moving from an improper fraction down here to a mixed number. The way that we do that is by dividing our numerator by our denominator. So I know that 5 can go into 9 one time without going over. 5 times 1 is 5. So I'm going to subtract. That leaves me with 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. I'm going to bring down this 6 right here. Okay, how close can I get to 46 without going over? Well, I know if I know my multiplication facts, I know that 5 times 9 is 45, and that's as close as I can get without going over. So I'm going to subtract 45. That leaves me with a remainder of 1. Remember that the 1 becomes our numerator and we put it over our denominator. And so we did get the same answer with this strategy that we got with our first strategy, which was 19 and 1/5. 19 and 1/5. So I will walk through this strategy with you using the same problem that we used on the last one, which was 7 times 4 6/7. So it was, let me move this up a little bit, 7 times 4 6/7. All right. Remember, step 1 for strategy 2 is to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply my whole number times my denominator, and I'm going to add my numerator. So for me, I know that 7 times 4 is 28, plus 6. 28 plus 6 is 34. So my new fraction is going to be 34/7. So we've gone from mixed to improper. All right, step 2 is to multiply the whole number times the improper fraction. So we have to make this a fraction to be able to use it. We make it a fraction by placing it over 1, because 7 of one thing is 7, and we know that. And we're going to multiply by 34/7. So in that, our denominator is going to stay 7, and I have to do 34 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21. 22, 23. So I know that that's going to be 238/7. 238/7. Now I'm going to take this 238/7 and I'm going to divide the numerator by the denominator to get back to a mixed number. So notice we started out with a mixed number, we went to an improper fraction. Now we have an improper fraction and we're going to change it to a mixed number. 238 divided by 7. 7 can't go into 2, but it can go into 23 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. We're going to subtract. 23 minus 21 is 2. We bring down the 8. I know that the closest I can get to 28 without going over with 7 is 4, and that gives me exactly 28. So with this strategy, my answer is 34. It's the same answer I had when I used the original strategy. You're going to be asked to use both strategies to solve the answers, to solve the questions and the equations for your lesson. If you get stuck, as always, come and see me.